All right, good morning, guys. Okay, let's see here. Bunch of big gappers today. I'm not sure if I'm gonna trade any of them. We're in a runaway momentum type of a market. Retail chasing is probably the highest it's been in 20 years. Interesting times. Everything I'm long is gapping up. Just everything is gapping up, except for Zoom, which is down 0.19% pre-market. Everything is up a couple of percent. And Workhorse is up 15%. So it's gonna be another day of trailing stops and trimming into strength. This has been my best week ever in trading, and also with the least amount of effort. Everything is just going straight up. Pretty incredible. No, I did not short U1. I may short it. I have 25,000 shares located. I wanted to locate more, but the borrow is pretty expensive, and it's a Friday, and I just want to go out to enjoy the sun, to be honest. Not sure I'm gonna trade a lot today. So mRNA is a watch. I hope it doesn't trigger today. Let's start in order. U1, where did it close? 25. And U1K, no, not as good. There are some low-priced oil gas names in my watch list. I'm not gonna trade any of them. Probably just stalking them. Save looks interesting on the 60-minute chart. NCLH2. CCL looks great on the daily. Nikolai bought 15,000 shares yesterday, and I'm willing to buy another 15,000 today. Yeah, honestly, I'm long 2 S-Packs already. There's just so many of them, I can't even keep track of them. I'm just gonna ignore all the rest. Like, yeah, I have a whole watch list of these. There are new ones capping today. There's just too many. There's just so many of them. I don't know what's what anymore. Nikola, I may buy more. This thing is a high tide flag. This is the best looking chart out there right now. This thing could go to 100. And if it does, I want to have some size in it. LK, no LKs. Whatever. Yep, I saw that. Yep. I really hope it doesn't break out today. If it can go sideways today and break out early next week, that's gonna be perfect. It would be great if it just goes sideways. Yeah, mRNA, I'm stalking that one too. It looks good. It looks like it wants to go. And I don't want this thing to break out today. I want it next week. I'm pretty much, I'm not almost on full margin, but I don't have a lot more buying power. I'm just super heavily long. So I don't want to buy a bunch of positions into the weekend. Yeah, and Vax, I sold some pre-market. Everything is just straight up. I can't believe it. And today, again, I'm up like 300-400K just overnight. Unbelievable. Unbelievable market. Unbelievable. Like best swing trading market I have ever seen. But yeah, we are starting to see some froth. Well, we've seen some froth for a while, but you know, it feels like there could be a rug pull at any moment. So you know, I'm watching the signs. So far, I haven't seen any signs of a potential pullback, but I'm always looking out for those. So far, everything just wants to go straight up, so I'm not gonna argue with that. I'm just gonna ride the trends. I don't think I'm gonna trade anything out of the gate, to be honest. I'm not in a mood to chase any gap ups. Everything is gapping up to 50, 100%. These back names. Yeah. U1 and U1K are on short watch, especially U1, because this is a higher price. But ideal, this thing closes strong and gaps up on Monday. Yeah, mRNA is relentlessly building higher lows. Just look at the 60-minute chart. The 66 range and 67, those are the breakout areas. You can buy like half 66-ish and the other half 67-ish. If it starts breaking out. It's Nvidia. It looks okay. It's not a great looking chart, and also it's a slower type of a stock. But honestly, all the good entries, they were like on Monday, and Livongo on Tuesday. Like this is not a 5-star. It's like maybe like a 3-star type of a setup. There are a few I'm watching, but you know there's slim pickings out there in the growth stock names right now. The beaten down like cyclical names, these things are starting to set up, but I don't know. I don't want to buy anything into the weekend. Hopefully they go sideways today. Yeah, and Nvidia is like it's an okay setup, but no, nothing other than that. Well, U1 is more liquid than U1K. Like U1 yesterday, what? This is like a $30 stock, traded 50 million shares. U1K is a $4 stock, traded what, 80 million shares. So U1 is like what, 7-8 times more liquid than U1K. So I don't think U1K is more liquid. It feels more liquid since it trades it's a lower price, and maybe it's like thicker, feels thicker, but I'm gonna focus on U1. if I'm gonna trade it. Pen, yeah, it looks decent. It's like a high tide flag. Ideal goes sideways another day, but it could work. It could work. Well, there's gonna be a lot of alerts going off out of the gate. Probably. Yes, DraftKings had an offering. They upped the shares. Yeah, 40 million shares at 40 was the offering on DraftKings. I don't know if they raised the price, but they did raise the size. They wanted to do, I think, 14 million at first. Then they raised to 19, then to 33, and then that's actually a very bullish sign. Upsizing. That means there's a lot of demand. All right, markets are open. Price Apple, guys, don't trade Apple. It's too slow. It's a very slow stock. Focus on the fast-moving stocks. That's where the money is. You want the most bang for your buck, and you get it from trading the stocks that have big range. All right, let's see here. mRNA selling off out of the gate. That's good. Nickel is selling off. That's good. I don't want any of those triggered today. Oh my god, alert fast. Okay, Penn is selling off. That's very good. I really want this thing to break out next week. What's my plan with APT and Lake? Well, my plan is for them to go up a lot, sell into strength, and trail my stop, like with every other stock I own. Masks are becoming hot again. There's a lot more talk about COVID-19. I think APT and Lake can get some Momo. That's my plan. Lake is lagging though. APT is acting much better. GAN had an entry earlier this week. Now it's just, if you buy it here, you're just chasing. It's up 3, 4, 5 days in a row. You know, it's you know, that's major chasing. Let it run. Sure, if you're in it, let it run. Okay, Nikola is triggering again. Okay, I'm gonna buy another 15,000 shares of this Nikola. I would have not liked it to. This is now by far my biggest position. I have 30,000 shares now. Look, GAN, sell some into strength and use the 10-day moving average as your trailing stop if you're in GAN. Okay. Pen is not going. Pen is tanking. Oh well, I mean, I guess it depends on the time frame you're looking at. Pen, you know, if it takes out highs for the day, it could be a buy. I'm passing on it. There's just so much going on right now. It's unbelievable. I think Nikola is by far the best setup coming into the day. Hence why I bought it. This thing could really go back to 90, maybe even $100 or something. I do believe that. Ah, both U1K and U1 are halted now. I'm not gonna do anything crazy, anything dangerous on these things. Like U1, this thing could go up another 100% today. Like we are in the chasing market like I've never seen before. I have no desire to get in front side of this thing. So I'm gonna be very patient before I short it, if I will short it today. Yeah, what's up with Biff C? I don't even know what the news is. Black Lives Matter? It's a Black Lives Matter stock? Okay. Okay, Nikolai got stopped out. It took out the opening range lows. It failed so far. Shell? I wouldn't trade it. I just don't see an edge here. This thing could go back. I mean, I don't know. It's an ignore for me. It's a very, very thin stock, and look, I don't know. It's gonna shake out both ways, and I don't know. It smells trouble. It smells trouble, to be honest. Not my type of trade. I'm trying to be super cautious here. It feels like there's a rug pull around the corner, so I'm just watching the action on my stocks. I may even size down some into the weekend. Like, it's almost been too good, and every time times are too good, I you know, a bunch of warning bells are starting to ring in my head. Because my worst losses always come after periods that are very, very good. So I'm just getting better at reading the warning signs. Every year I get a little bit better. Moderna is just inside of a range. There's no reason to be in it unless it starts breaking out. Okay, Penn is taking out the opening range highs. It looks okay. It looks pretty decent. It's been riding the 20-day very well, and I mean I guess it looks pretty decent. I use mostly market orders. 90% of my orders are market orders, Andros. AMD, yeah, it's still stuck inside of the range. It's still building higher lows, but it's stuck in the range. What's Nvidia doing? Nvidia is stronger. Nvidia is breaking out, but it's a very slow and choppy stock. This thing you almost have to use a wide stop because it always pulls back a lot before it. HCMP looks very good. I just can't buy more stuff. I can't. I'm so heavily invested right now. I can't do it. I can't do more. I wish I could, I just can't. I wish I could, but I just cannot. I have over 20 million of long exposure right now. So in case you're wondering if I'm a little bit nervous. It's because I am. Yeah. I am a small timer. I am a loser. 20 million in my paper account, like, how can one be nervous over paper money, right? It's fake dollars. It's the money. If I go to an ATM and withdraw, I get these green bills with the Monopoly guy on them. He does? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. My biggest expense is taxes. You spent demo money as well? Yeah. The best money is fake money, right? Nah, just kidding. Money is great. Even if you don't spend it, you can do a lot with it. You can give it to charity. You can help people. You can protect the environment. You can buy politicians. There's a lot of fun things you can do with money, even if you don't spend it on stuff. U1, it's halted, right? Great. Yeah, I'm giving all the Greta. She's from a very rich family. She doesn't need any money, trust me. Her family is from the upper segments of Swedish society. Yes, Greta is from a very rich family. Very leftist, and very rich. Her parents are Antifa. They're very rich Antifa, disgusting people. Yeah. There's a picture of her parents. They have Antifa t-shirts. Yep. And there's another picture of her mother. Like they're in at their home. There's like a sofa or two sofas that like Italian, like handmade. They cost like 10-15K each. So I don't think Greta needs my money. With big money, you can have tuna tartare for breakfast. Hey, it looked delicious. I don't know how to make tuna tartare, but I need to, I need to check the recipe again. Maybe I'll do one. I'm gonna do a whole plate. This U1, man, it's such a it's up what from? Oh man, I don't know, man. It looks there could be a short entry here, but I mean, you have to use a $10 stop. That's a 24% stop. It's just so wide. I don't know. I'm scared. U1, nah. I mean, these are tough, man. These are tough trades. Being 1,000 Jargon, you get a McMuffin. McMuffins are great. If you want inflammations in your overall in your body, McMuffins are great. They do actually taste good. I love processed food. T-Doc is another one. The entry was like on Monday. I mean, this was a little bit tricky, but or last week. It's already gone. There's nothing here. Don't chase these things. They are all gone. Like the entries were. The last good entries were like Monday, and on Tuesday there was Livongo. There's been no good breakout since. Everything is extended. There's a few ones like airlines and cruise lines that are setting up. That could be the next sector to go once we get another wave of sector rotation. But for the past few weeks, the growth stocks have been leading, and before that we got a couple of weeks of the beaten down cyclicals leading, and maybe next week we'll have the cyclicals starting to lead again, and the growth stocks pulling back. Yeah, Labu is doing okay. Oh, this U1, I am tempted. I just don't want to deal with. Look, I don't want to deal with any halts. I don't want to deal with it. It does have an entry in this area. It's below VWAP, and I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I need the chart to develop a little bit. SSR is on too. Oh, really? BJ and Alt. BJ, it's flagging. Not really a growth name, but it's a decent looking flag. It could work if it breaks out next week. Alt is a low price, low liquidity COVID-19 play. It is flagging, but I think there are better ones. Okay, so U1 is reclaiming VWAP so far. Yeah, market is always trying to suck in latecomers. At Tim Hortons Coffee. I don't know what Tim Hortons is. Or I don't know what kind of food they have. I heard it. It's DHI, right? No, this is DR Horton. Wait. Oh, wait. Tim Hortons, are they on the in the stock market? No, Tim Hortons? No, wait. What did you say? Tim Hortons. No, they're not in the stock market. They serve Swedish cake? I doubt. No one serves Swedish cake. They got the best bagels? A lot of these names are trying to fade right now. I mean, look at this Corn, for example. How the fuck do you trade something like this? It has a green candle, gets halted for 10 minutes, gaps up, has a red candle, gets halted for 5 minutes, has another red. I mean, like, how do you trade this thing? How do you trade something like this? It's I don't like, people are crazy. It's more gambling than trading. Oh, they're only in the northeast. I've never been to the northeast US. Dunkin' Donuts, okay. What has 669k float? The farmer's wrap, bacon, egg, sauce, yeah. All the heart attack foods, they're just super delicious. Oh, corn, yeah. The better the food, the better tasting the food, the bigger the chance you're gonna get a heart attack eventually. Ah, now it's U1 is halt. Yeah, look, I'm not even gonna. I spent like 20,000 on borrows in this U1, but whatever. Red Robin, RRGB. I traded the stock. Oh, they're everywhere? Okay. Oh, oh, QSR. Yeah, they own a little bit of everything. This QSR. They own a lot of chains. Oh, this looks like I'm gonna get stopped out of my Nicola. My Nicola. Survey Monkey. It's a second grade growth stock. It's not a leader. I wouldn't be trading this thing, but because there are faster growing stocks out there, and they're also better moving. This is a kind of sloppy stock. It's a growth stock, but it's again, it's a second grade one. There's so many better ones. Stuff like Beely, PDD, NET, Fastly, Livongo, Okta, DDOG, Shopify, SC, Twilio, just to mention a few. I mean, look, it's in an uptrend, etc. But, you know, this is not the type of stock you get most bang for your buck. I would say. Wow, SC looked like a reversal day yesterday, and today it's about to take out new highs. Incredible market. I cannot believe this market. Okta? Yeah, it looks... Yeah, I entered it 2 days ago. It looks decent. But I moved the stop now to break even. Very tight. Keeping things on a tight leash here. I refuse to give back. I've had my best week ever, and I've literally only made like maybe 7 or 8 trades this week. Or 6 or 7 trades this week. And it's my best week. Unbelievable. All you have to do is buy the best stocks, and everything is just going straight up. Look at this Beely. I mean... And you saw it. Like, I'm gonna show you guys the power of relative strength. Like, you need to understand this for those of you who don't. You need to believe in this. Why did I buy Beely? Okay, once the chart looks good. It's been one of the strongest. Very linear. It keeps riding the 20-day. It built a range share. It's a growth stock. Very good revenue growth. And I'm gonna look at these 2 days. The 11th and 12th of this month. This and this. This is the day when the Nasdaq and the markets overall pulled back. This is the 11th and this is the 12th. You see these 2 big red days. What did Beely do? It tried to go lower on Thursday on that big red down day. Couldn't. Found support on the rising 20-day. On Friday, when the markets kept going down, this thing actually broke out. This is where I bought it. Or no, sorry, I bought it the day after, I think. No, I did buy it this day. And I think I added on the day after. I don't remember. But, that's relative strength. The stock is literally yelling in your face. I want to go higher. That's what it... All you have to do is listen. All you have to do is listen. And there's so many of these. Livongo was another one. It was literally yelling in everyone's faces, hey, I want to go higher. I have tripled in a few months. I've been building higher lows for a month. I've been building a range for a month. And when a market went down big in 2 days, I didn't go down at all. What is the stock telling you? All you have to do is listen. For those of you who are frenetically looking to stocks to buy, like today or yesterday, you're doing it wrong. Now is the time to sell to those crazy chasers. Who can't get enough of the action. How do you reprogram your brain to not feel? Well, it's very simple. You just have to experience a few episodes where you don't obey your stops, and then the stock goes down or up a lot more, makes you lose even more money. Where you lose like 5-10 times more money than you would have if you just had obeyed your stop. After that, you're not going to feel disappointed when you get stopped out because you're taking it personally. Don't take it personally. The market is just telling you, hey, wait a minute, I'm not ready yet. The stock is just telling you, I'm not ready yet. The stop is a way for you to protect yourself. It's all about framing. Instead of thinking, oh, the market makers are gunning my stops. Oh, the market gods are against me. You know, it's all about, hey, it's okay. The stock is telling me it's not ready yet. And now I have to regroup and wait for a better setup. Exactly, love your stops. And I learned that from Dan Sanger. Don't love your stocks, love your stops. Exactly. What Hype Stock Trading said. Once those things happen a few times, you're gonna start obeying your stops. You're not gonna feel disappointed. Once you take those big losses because you didn't obey your stop. GSX is hitting new highs. For day trading, I don't think there are any good books on day trading. I really don't. For swing trading, there's a bunch of them. I've gone through them many times, like this Darva's book, William O'Neill books, Mark Minervini books. IDEX, I still have most of my shares. I have 130,000 shares left out of my initial 200k. So I still have most. ALPN, I know this one from yesterday. I don't see anything here right now. It's the middle of November. Maybe in a few days when it has built a range. Well, GT 5309. The reason I just don't focus on a few, because there's no reason to. There's no reason to take that risk. Because being concentrated on margin in just 3-4 stocks, you're just begging for trouble. There's no point. Like in a bull market like this, there's hundreds of stocks that go up a lot. There's no reason to be in just 3 or 4. Because there's so many unknown risks, like, you know, something like Fastly, or I don't know anything about these companies, or I don't know a lot, but maybe this, I don't know, Beyond Meat, maybe they lose their biggest customer, right? Maybe they lose, I don't know, like, who are the customers? Like, they had a, I don't know if they still have it, but they had a partnership with Dunkin' Donuts. Like, what if Dunkin' Donuts drops them, right? This thing could be down 30% overnight. Like, there's so many, or if, you know, right now I don't really own any biotechs, but, you know, if you have biotech companies, you know, they have some bad news. Like, it's just not worth the risk. It's just so much easier to beat. Now, 24 stocks, you know, I don't usually have this many stocks. I don't even like to be in so many stocks, but we've been in a 3-month bull run, so that's what happens. Like, I accumulate a lot of positions. I trim and trail, and then if I see a good setup, I buy it, and that's pretty much what happens. Like, most of these positions I have, you know, sold a third or even half already, because they've gone up so much. Like, some of these stocks, they're like doubles, up 50, 100% since I bought them. Livongo, I have I rebought it like earlier this week, but Net I still have about 3/4. I think I sold about a quarter so far, but I should probably sell more. This thing is up. This thing is up what? Closing in on 30% since the entry. Yeah, I use weekly charts all the time, just not when I stream. I use it when I don't stream. When I have TC2000 on my two 27-inch widescreen monitors. Pen is fading. That's a good thing. I really want this thing to go sideways a few more days. Okay, let's do a scan here. The Z looks pretty decent. Hopefully it can go sideways today and break out next week. Could be a potential setup for next week. But, you know, every day we go higher, every day the risk reward gets worse for new positions. That's just the harsh reality. It feels euphoric right now, but just wait until we get a pullback. Some of these things are gonna tank a lot. And then you don't want to be in a position where you chased some random stock. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I buy a starter entry, and if it starts confirming either by price or by volume, I add. But mostly I do buy it everything at once. But sometimes I tear in. This SRNE is also intriguing. This thing has serious halt risk, but it looks pretty interesting. ZS, yeah, just finding support on a 60-minute chart. No NIO is not a good swing trading setup. It's just straight up. You have to buy them close to the moving averages, close to the 10 and 20 day. This thing has been straight up. That's no base. Yeah, I follow him in one of my Twitter accounts. I know Mr. X. AMD is just stuck in a range right now. I prefer if this thing breaks out next week, I would buy it. But I really think this thing needs to take out that 50, high 55s, low 56 area. Yeah, they have. And most of them are gonna blow up. Most of them are going to blow up. So they may as well enjoy their outperformance while it lasts. A lot of these people have already blown up. Just go to like Wall Street Bets, etc. Like people are posting their accounts all the time. There's people who turn a few thousand into like 50k in a few weeks, and then they lose it all, and sometimes even end up with negative account balances because they do options. It's pretty sad. SRN, if there's any catalyst, I don't know. Are they working on a vaccine? Oh no, this is the one where the CEO lied. Yeah, no, it's a total pump job. I don't know about any catalyst for this thing. Yeah, I bought Labu yesterday. I bought a small 15,000 shares. It's inching higher. I also raised my stop a little bit today. It's just inching higher for now. Yeah. No, yeah, you have to understand, like most people are not really out here to make money. They're just trading to satisfy their urge or their gambling addiction. Like, so some of these people are seriously gambling addicted, and right now there is no sports gambling, so they have to do something, and they just want to have fun. Most people that have come to the stock market lately, they're not here, they don't really want to learn the game, learn trading or learn investing. They just want to follow someone, have fun, and if they make money, they make money. If they lose money, they lose money. That's like how a lot of them argue. Avoid LABD. This thing is it's poison. You want to short it, I guess? Is it breaking down? Yeah, avoid this thing. Better buy Labu instead, in my opinion. When you anticipate a pullback, do you sell some of your SC winners, SCLV going to strength to reduce your long exposure or get off margin? Yes. First thing I get off margin. Okay, because market tops are usually, they're a process. They don't usually, go straight down. But yeah, first thing I do is get off margin. When I start seeing things starting to reverse, I get off margin. That's the first thing I do. And then the day two, depending on how they act, in the next few days, I may start selling down aggressively. Like I can go from being like right now like 150% long, net long, to maybe 50% net long in a few days. and maybe you know, put on a bunch of shorts, etc., etc. But the first ones I get rid of are the ones that haven't really gone yet, and the ones that are the most extended, I sell a bunch. Maybe not all, but you know, a bunch. Just reduce risk and lock in profits. IIVI, it's a very sloppy stock. I don't see the like. No, I don't think it is a good setup. It feels a bit sloppy. I don't really use that many tools and software. Well, I do use Coifin. I have these news. I use Finviz. I use Seeking Alpha. I use TradingView. I use the Fly on the Wall for news and Briefing.com for news. I don't know if Nickel is gonna have a real break. I hope it doesn't. I want this thing to build more higher lows and then go next week. It fell back into range, but if it starts breaking the out of that high 69s, I'm gonna rebuy. I still have my 15,000 shares from yesterday. I have no idea. Yes, Carve is a pump. It's a Black Lives Matter pump. Yeah, David Day Trader. Entertainment purposes only, that's correct. Overstock, yeah, this looks like a decent setup. It's been tight. It's a decent setup, not a great setup, but a decent one. Here, down here, this was a great setup when it bounced off the rising 20-day. No, I don't like Carvana here. Guys, again, guys, okay. How will I explain this? You know, when they are extended from the 10 and 20 day, they're not good buys. You need to buy these things when they are near. This was a good entry. This day here, look at how tight it was. It was right. It was surfing the rising 10 and 20. Now this thing is up in no man's land. It's not a good setup. Like, just look at the chart. If the price, like if you're looking for a long setup, if it's already way above the rising 10 and 20, it's not a good setup. That's a general rule of thumb that's gonna work 99.5% of the time. I'm gonna show you what a good setup looks like. This is a good setup, okay? It's surfing the 10 and 20, okay? And now these things have almost caught up to the price. If this thing goes sideways today, both the 10 and 20 will have caught up to price, and then it will be ready to break out, and it will be very tight. That's a good setup. mRNA, it's a very good setup. It's tight. It's just hugging these moving averages. The 20-day have turned down briefly, but it doesn't matter. Like, it's still in a strong uptrend. Now it's riding the rising 50-day, and this is more common with the larger cap names that they may find support on the 50-day, etc. This is a very good setup. Another one, Nikola. Look at how it's surfing the 10-day. Tried to break out today, it fell back into range. I got stopped out of the ads. It just needs probably one more day, and then it's gonna go, if it goes. But something like Carvana, like it's like nowhere. You have absolutely no edge in this stock. Down here you had an edge on this day here. This was a very specific low risk, high probability setup. I even marked this thing. You see this red arrow? I marked this thing. This is the 2nd of June. I didn't buy it because I was in a bunch of other names, but look at this thing. This is my back watch list. It's right here. I always track the good setups, even if I don't trade them, just to see how they did. You need to memorize these patterns. You need to spend thousands of hours. There are no shortcuts, guys. I'm telling you, there are no shortcuts. These are patterns you need to memorize. TVAX, no. I mean, it's in a hot sector. I mean, it could work, I guess. It's breaking out of a little bit of a range. It's bouncing off the 20-day. It could work. It's right at the opening range highs on the 60-minute chart, but it's a low price. I don't know. It's okay. But I still like mRNA more. WRTC, yeah. Another good setup, SRNE. Had a big move, now it's just surfing these moving averages. Look at how tight it is. Look at the past 2 weeks. The stock is getting tighter and tighter, building higher lows, has a range here. The moving averages are right at the price. This is a very good setup. I'm just giving a bunch of examples because people have been asking me, like 3-4 tickers I've gotten questions of. They're just in the middle, no man's land. You need to see what is a good setup and what is not a setup at all. So I'm just trying to give a lot of examples of something that where you have an edge versus something you don't have an edge. Yeah, absolutely. It was a total pump job. And I am scared of it too. One morning you wake up, it's halted. And then it opens on the gray sheets 2 weeks later and you're down 80%, you know? Like in this market, there's so much moving, there's just no reason to take on any stupid risks. MRSN? No. I think someone asked me about this one like yesterday or a few days ago. It's just a low price, not low price, but very thin phase 1 stock. There are better ones. It's a little bit too random. ACB. You know what? It looks actually like a pretty decent setup. It's been building higher lows for the past week or so. It looks pretty decent, but it needs to break out. Looks okay. Roku. Yeah. This would in that case be a little bit of a longer term trade. But yeah. Looks good on the weekly and monthly. It does. You know what? I'm gonna sell some stocks. Or just size down a bunch of stuff. I don't know which ones though. This zoom looks like next stop is gonna be 270. It's so tight on the 60. It's just building higher lows. There's just no sellers in this thing. It's pretty amazing. Tesla looks like it wants 1200. Man, this market, holy shit. Holy shit, that's all I have to say. I'm just raising a bunch of stops here. Shopify, wow. I'm gonna set a sell order for a few shares at 900 on Shopify. Whoa. Reduce losers. But hey, Reno, what if you don't have any losers in your account? What do you do? What do you reduce if you don't have any losers? Kiss of death? I know. I actually do have I'm down 39,000 on Nikola. And I'm down 8,000 on Lake, so I do have losers. So I'm down a total of what? 45k on my losers. And up like 3.5 million on my winners. That is a kiss of death. I know. I've been trying to jinx myself for the past 2 days. I've been posting P&Ls. I'm like look at the title of the stream the past 2 days. Is it even possible to lose in this market environment? Like I've been doing everything possible to jinx myself. But right now the market is immune to jinxing. That's where we are. That's where the market is right now. Ugas. These commodity related trades are very tough. Very, very tough. Hey Chris, don't say anything important. I'm going to make coffee. Okay. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna be quiet. Everyone has to wait until David gets back. No pressure, David. Take your time. There's 84 people in here. 83 excluding you. Yeah. Run, David. My most top secret to success. The secret is there is no secret. The secret is you have to put in thousands of hours studying stocks, how stocks move, what they move on, how they act. And then you have to listen to the markets. Look, like what are the markets telling you? Because the market is telling, the market gives clues all the time. You just have to listen. But yeah, the biggest secret to the markets is there is no secret. Just hard work. Yes, I was a day trader when I had a smaller account. But once I got into the $200,000-300,000 range ish, that's when I started modifying my trading a little bit and started doing more swing trading. Because I realized like day trading is that's not really where the big money is. Big money is in the big moves, and the big moves you get over periods of weeks and months, not in one day. Okay. It's a very illiquid COVID-19 stock. I don't really see anything here. It could go, I guess, but I don't know. Exactly. How to make a million? How to be a stock market millionaire? Start with 2 million. Exactly. No easy money. The Robin Hooders who are printing money right now, like 95% of them are gonna give it all back. And many of them are even gonna give back more than they had in the beginning. But when that's gonna happen, we don't know. This kind of craziness could go on for another 6 months, a year. Who knows? I'm just trying to, follow the price. It's, I'm just trying to make fewer and fewer predictions because I realize my predictions are not worth shit. No one's predictions are worth shit. No one can consistently predict anything. What you can do is follow the price action and act accordingly. And boom, you don't even need to make any predictions. My intraday buying power with leverage, like four time intraday buying power. It's insane to even say it out loud, but it's about 50 million. My intraday buying power is 50 million. Or 55. I don't even know exactly. I know. It's insane. It's insane. It's fucking... Like the past 2.5 months, I said it yesterday, but I made as much money past 2.5 months as I made in the previous 9 years. No, David. You didn't miss anything, I promise. I only have 2 more zeros than you. Only? Just kidding. You're in the cream zone. Would you consider work here? No. It needs to tighten up a little bit more. Right now it's just a very sloppy chart. Yeah, I do that. I do that sometimes. Like, let's look at something that is very extended, like PDD. I do measure them sometimes, like how far the 10 and 20 day moving averages are. Absolutely, I do it sometimes. Just so I know, how many percent the nearest way is the nearest support. Absolutely. Yeah, probably over the past 2.5 months, 80 if not 90% of my trades have been long. There just hasn't. There have been some good short setups, but not too many. There's been a few really good ones. But I think we're gonna get some really good short setups next week or in a few coming next few weeks. Since things are just going straight up, and they're not gonna keep going straight up forever. FTNT. It looks decent. It's a second grade stock, like growth name, but it looks decent. It's a bit of a slower name, but it's a good looking flag. If it can break out of this flag, it could go to 160, 170, sure. No, I can't, because I can't use my brokerage, intraday brokerage, US brokerage leverage to buy stuff in real life. I can only buy stuff in my brokerage account. Spies, they're just in a range. Don't worry about it. Yep, expiration of everything. Maybe it's also the expiration of my ego. Right now my ego is at all-time highs. My ego needs a pullback. Yeah, but I need a Swedish brokerage for that. Ugh. Oh my god. Yeah, Sheg had a nice breakout a couple of days ago. Oh wow, yeah, it's going. Yep. Too bad I'm not in it anymore. I just grew tired of it. I sold it somewhere here in the low 60s like a month ago. But yep. Yeah, on the weekly chart, you see where this thing found support on the rising 10 weekly moving average. You know, perfectly. Yeah, it bored me out too. Guys, don't short my ego. You're gonna get run over. My ego is gonna go parabolic next week. I have a feeling. Don't short it yet. Wait for next week. My ego is very hard to borrow, and if you can get shares, they're like $10 per share. It's like the most expensive borrow ever. So wait until next week to short my ego. There is a pullback coming, guys, but it may go parabolic first. When you say in this market, what exactly do you mean? Like I've heard that phrase for 10 years since I became interested in the stock market. What does this market even mean? It's the market. It's the best market. Probably it's the best market since the late 90s. Like exactly what does this market mean? Exactly, Chris shorts. There is no broker has shares on my ego short. I'm not lending them to the brokerages. I'm pooling all the shares. I'm not lending any of it. Nugget. Yeah. Yeah, gold is breaking out, yep. But it's super slow. You're never gonna make money on this thing. 1% ADR. Super slow. Do, 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 do. Well, when I said I struggled, doesn't mean I wasn't profitable. I still had good returns, but it was hard, because you have to change your mindset. You have to rewire your brain. Exactly. Profits right now are worthless. You can't do anything with it. You can't travel. Well, the market has been based on expectations for 200 years. There is no such thing as fairly valued stocks and fairly valued stock market. This thing could go on for, we could go on like this for years. History has shown us that before. Just look at the 20s, the 60s, the 90s. The best thing to do is just keep politics and personal opinions out of your investing and trading. That's one of the most profitable advices I can give you, can give people. Just a lot of people just, trading their own biases. But that really makes any money. ACB is trying to come out of a range, has no volume, unfortunately. The best advice I can give you, learn the language of the markets. Just study. Spend a couple of thousand hours just studying stocks. Go back 20, 30 years. Look through thousands of charts. Just look at how they act. Look at the indices, like how the indices act. And the indices can stay above the 20, 50-day moving averages for years and years. Like this thing, we could go to 400 in the SPYs before we get any big pullback, Exactly. Trade what is in front of you. There's only so much we can control. Focus on the things you can control, and then all the rest is up for risk management. That's why I'm, heavily on margin in 24 stocks, not in 3 or 4 stocks. I have 24 stocks. Because I don't know, at any given time, any of these stocks could go down 90%. If some kind of a very, very low probability event happens. Like Tesla. What happens if Elon Musk would die? Someone shoots Elon Musk, right? Or he gets a heart attack. It's gonna gap down to 300 overnight. Or heck, even intraday, it's gonna go straight down to 300. All you can do is stop worrying about things and just focus on setups and focus on risk and money management. That's something I had to learn over the years, because I was also super afraid of these macro events and this and that, and what would Trump do? What would Putin do? What would crazy rocket man do? It doesn't matter. You can't, things just happen all the time. You can't predict any of it, pretty much. Don't give the shorts any ideas. 50,000 in buying power? Sure, absolutely. No, wait. Are you talking about overnight buying power? No, I don't think so. It's gonna be tough. Yeah, it's very hard to ignore personal biases, but you have to work at it like all the time. Like, think about all the people that sold their, like, there were some, you know, people with big followings, like journalists and semi-famous people that openly told everyone they sold their stocks when Trump got elected, right? Because they didn't like Trump. And how did that turn out, right? Just, and I'm sure a lot of people sold their stocks when Obama got elected, right? So yeah, you can never get rid of your biases, but you can work at it and improve. How many hours you in market now, Chris? 10,000 hours? Yeah, sure. 10,000 hours, absolutely. More. I have probably 20,000 hours. Seas? Yeah, Sea World. I don't think that kind of a business has a future. There's just too many people disliking what they do. Captivity of animals and all that stuff. It's not really a business of the future. What about psychological? Yeah, what about it? Uh, um, well, uh, no, I don't trade options. I think options are poison. Find it hard to hold positions for long? Yeah, that's a classic one. Selling your winners and holding your losers. You have to work at it. You have to force yourself. Anytime you're about to sell a winner, you're like, hey, I'm not gonna sell it. I'm gonna use a trailing stop. You have to develop rules. You have to develop rules. Like, once you find a setup, like a specific setup, and develop specific rules for that setup, you don't need any of that psychology crap. All these trading psychology books, they're all crap. It's poison. They're poison. They're just, they're written for people that haven't spent enough time to develop a setup. They haven't studied the markets to find out what works. If you spend 1,000 hours just looking at, going back, looking at stocks 20, 30 years, you're gonna find a lot of setup ideas, and then develop rules around those. You won't need all that psychology crap. Exactly. Me too. That's why I'm using the 10 and 20 day as sell rules, as sell areas on stocks, because they can go up more than you think. Like this SC, like this thing could go to 200 before you get the close a close below the 20 day. We don't know that. It could. And if you think, and look, I thought this thing was extended at 80. I was getting a bit scared when it pulled back here on this day. I'm like, it's gonna pull back, it's gonna stop me out. But I was like, no, I'm gonna adhere to these rules. I've studied the stocks going back decades. I've studied the leading liquid leaders. This thing could double from here before it even closes below any of the 10 or 20 moving average. Same thing with D-Dog. Oh, it looks extended. But extended can always become more extended. Exactly. You know, I've been telling this for almost every day now this week. You have to put in the hours. You have to study. Get e-signal. Get TC2000. It's very simple. Just go look through every single stock on the US stock markets for the past, say, you know, on the monthly chart for as far back as you can, right? Something like Microsoft, this thing has a chart back to the 80s, early mid 80s. Just go look at the patterns. You're gonna see similarities. You're gonna see the same patterns repeat over and over again in every market environment. You're gonna develop expertise. You're gonna develop confidence. You won't need any trading psychologist to tell you, you know, shit. You're gonna be your own trading psychologist. Why did you you know, yeah, it was a mistake. You know, it got too extended. The 50-day works like as a good pullback entry once a stock, and also for slower moving stocks. For stocks that double triple in a very short amount of time, the 50-day doesn't work very well as a sell indicator. The 10 and 20 days are much better. This is pretty much where I decided to stop using the 50-day as a, or the close of the 50, below the 50-day as a sell signal. I'm gonna just focus on the 10 and 20-day now. The 50-day is good to buy once a growth leader has pulled back a lot and hits the 50-day and develops a setup around there. But I don't use it as a sell signal anymore. It was very painful. Like, I was up 2 million on the year last year, like in the summer, and then I just gave back $1 million in a few weeks by having 2 loose stops. So I just gave back $1 million in profit because things pulled back so hard. And Roku and EMPH were the main ones. I remember I was long. No, not the EMPH. No, wait, SCDG? No, it was EMPH, of course. It was back here, yeah. So yeah, it was painful. So I went back, studied a little bit more, and I realized, hey, the 10 and 20 are the best for these momentum leaders that I am trading. It's always like that. You try out a bunch of stuff. If you feel it doesn't work well, you go back, you study, you adjust. You have to do it constantly. You have to constantly do these things. You always have to adjust and adapt and tweak and trim every month, every year. You can't take anything for granted, right? You always have to go back and look, hey, is this still working? $10 or $20, I used them both equally. Exactly, Uncle Cheesy. Exactly. A lack of a method and a lack of process and a lack of knowledge of the markets and setups and how things work in the stock market, people mistaken them for a bad psych. Exactly. How do you define liquidity in a stock? Dollar volume. Shares traded times share price. What would be the main difference between your style and Dan Sanger? I don't know. I'm training very similar to him, to be honest, especially in this market right now. I mean, I guess he doesn't short the way I do, like these parabolic moves. That would be a main difference. I use the 10 and 20 mainly for trailing stops, and use like 20 and 50 and 150, etc. for, you know, good potential support areas or to buy off. Those people that make decisions make you money, though. I don't know what you mean by that comment. I don't understand what that means. DVAX is going nicely off the opening range highs. VIR is also breaking out of a bottom. It's so thin. I mean, I guess it would have been a nice entry of the opening range highs. I missed it. That's fine. There's just so much moving, and I don't, you know, I'm getting kind of exhausted. 24 positions. I really don't want to take on. Like, my mind is getting overpowered right now. Yeah, NH and NK, they're both the same. Yeah, it's trying to go super thin. Could work. It could work. A lot of COVID-19 related names are going. HOLX, VIR, DVAX, and this NK, and this one. Which one is it? Yeah, DVAX already mentioned. Yeah, the people that make bad decisions make money. Exactly. Or, well, I mean, yeah, sure, absolutely. No, I never worked in a trading company or firm. Yeah, I learned mostly from myself. But, you know, I learned from a lot of different people. You know, I picked up bits and pieces from dozens of people and books and, you know, etc., etc. I've been a member of different trading sites. I've been a member of the Dan Sanger site. I've been a member of the Minervini site. I've read books, you know. You pick up something from everywhere. You pick up something, you have to confirm it for yourself. And if it fits your personality and the trading style you want to develop, then you keep it. Not much from the site, but his books are pretty good. His books are very good for swing and position trading on the long side. But he's very promotional. He's very promotional. It's off-putting. Billy. APT taking out yesterday's highs. Yeah, okay. I just don't see much to do here. I'm just gonna do what I've been doing all week, just managing my positions. Peloton keeps grinding higher. W keeps, like, everything, all the growth names, all the momentum leaders are grinding higher. I just don't think there are many that look good right here, unless you're already in them. Some biotechs are breaking out today. Like 2 biotechs that look good. This is Immu, looks pretty good, and this other one. Which one is it? HZMP. They look pretty decent, both of them. And Labu is breaking out. So today is really a biotech type of day. So those things could work. Like there's some rotation into biotechs. Nicola, it's here 65.20, which is the low of this range on the 60-minute chart. All right, the rest of the day is just gonna be watching paint dry, so I'm gonna cut the stream here. Again, I'm not really looking to trade much here. There's been some day trading opportunities. There has been some swing trading opportunities too. But I'm just mostly... Oh, wow, oh my god, wait, what? Wait, what? This U1 is getting tight. I missed it. Fuck, I missed it. I tried to short it at 44. No. It's getting very tight. It's not been halted for a while. It's below higher, lower highs. It's below VWAP. Oh, it's a very good setup. Oh, shit. Okay, maybe I will get it on pops. Okay, guys, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Happy trading. And don't forget to put in like 5-10 hours of studying the stock market and setups during the weekend. That's what you have to do. That's what I did for years and years. Okay, good luck, guys. See ya.